duvet or watches, this is also something that has it's going to require a little bit of teasing apart of the details to really understand your ire or where you exactly land on it. But this one comes from a listener. Let me make sure my volume's up. Okay, Chaz, here we go.
Hey boys, tools to live by are sunglass etiquette, and that's my question. Now, don't wear sunglasses inside. I think that one's clear. If you do, you're just a butthole or Ray Charles. But, outside, you're wearing sunglasses. That's cool. And then you start talking to someone, right? Do you take them off or do you not take them off? Do you keep them on for friends, but maybe new acquaintances? You want to take them off so, they can see they're looking in the eye? Or no, you keep them on. They're your style. The sun's in your eyes, whatever. Like, is it rude if you have sunglasses on, the other person doesn't, and you don't take them off? Or do you keep them on? Because hashtag fashion, high fashion. Curious what your thoughts are. My feeling, keep them on. It's totally fine. You're outside, whatever. Now, if I was speaking to someone maybe fairly important or a dignitary or, like your boss, I don't know, I would take them off, and I think that shows a little bit of respect, but assuming they don't have them on. But I think this one maybe is a little complex. Maybe not.
Little nebulous, but I've often had these conversations in my head about sunglass etiquette.
Okay, I think this is a real natural one. I think if you are outdoors and the sun is like bright in your eyes and you're having a conversation, leave them on. I think if you can handle it, take them off for every conversation.
So brightness of sun is the deciding factor for you.
Because if you're going to be sitting there squinting in their face, like your face all squished up, because, unless you want to reposition so you're not looking in the sun or whatever. But if it's going to be more obnoxious for you not to have them on than to
Yeah.
have them on, then leave them on. Otherwise, take them off. I do think it's polite. I'm thinking back just at the recently passed boardroom and the conversations I had. I don't think I had many outside, but I hope that I would have taken my sunglasses off. I think it does show it's like one of those genteel moves that we should keep on the books. We have enough uh casualness already. We have enough degradation of just good manners and tradition.
Yeah.
But let's try to keep a few on the books. Or the more we can put back on the books, the
Well, I agree. There is kind of a sliding scale of variables here. Certainly, how bright the sun is one of them. But really, I think for me, the casualness of the conversation dictates, uh, or the seriousness of the conversation, I guess, dictates the necessity to remove them. Because if you and I were outside and we're just chatting, catching up on something, I would not take my sunglasses off,
that's true.
And but if you were like, hey, by the way, my wife is leaving me, I would absolutely then remove them and be like, bro, what
Yeah.
happened? What'd you do?
Yeah, that's totally you're exactly right. That is a great addition. I'm also going to add, I mean, where the conversation is happening. If we are out on a lake, in a boat, in our trunks, if we're at the beach and we're having a conversation, but you're exactly right. Once it got serious, once leaving me, then you take them off.
It would be so weird if you left them on.
Yeah, it's really true. It is. You're exactly right. You've solved this instantly. So it's,
Okay,
uh, but I also think though it's good to take them off at first meeting somebody. They don't have to be important. They don't have to be
that's
anything. But I
true.
think there's a level of politeness when meeting someone, if the sun is not blinding you at that moment, to take it off and give a nice introduction, with the eyes. You can even put them back on. Uh, but a moment of taking them off to show that I see you, I am looking at you. This is all good.
Eye contact is like incredibly insightful,
Yes. And
you
it's and
know,
it's like honoring somebody too. It's really taking them in instead of, yeah. And I think that making that connection is important for first time meetings.
completely agree. So, and I agree with you. There is something about this that has been lost to time, and it is to do with courtesy and manners. And so I do love the idea of honoring whatever that is from our past that made us a better civilization, a
I
better
mean,
society.
it feels like, again, with this whole world sliding to idiocracy, or at least the whole American world, trying to claw back any manners that we can will serve our children well. If we can put a few more back and, let them, I mean, it'd be nice to build a whole mannered world again that could be ripped down, but you can only hit, casual stretchy pants. I mean, how many ads do you get served up on your Instagram for like the pant that looks like a work pant, but it's basically a sweat?
Totally.
All the time. Like, no, no, no. There's something important about
Yeah.
a pant that is structured. It
Yeah.
doesn't have, you don't have to be, you're not a toddler. You don't have to be comfortable all the time or wildly, comfortable. You can
Right.
put on your big boy pants and act like a man and then get into something more comfortable if you want when you get home. Like my grandpa was a bank president and he would mow the lawn in his wingtips from that were his like older wingtips. That's where they would get kicked down. He would rarely ever put on tennis shoes, right? Like wingtips were for adult men. That's what you wore. That's what you did. Wingtips.
That is amazing. Was he wearing a suit while he was doing this?
No, I can't. I can't remember what he was wearing. It wasn't shorts, but it was something appropriate, right?
It
It
was
was
a dress
something.
pant, probably, that went
Yeah,
with the wingtip.
yeah, a dress pant that, and again, these are the wingtips that were recently retired. These were no
Yeah.
longer appropriate for the bank. But it's this kind having decorum, having holding yourself to a higher standard than I need my pants stretchy because it's comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah. And the sunglasses is a great one because I have been in this exact, I think we all have probably, right? Where you're with somebody who doesn't give you, and it probably isn't so much a serious conversation as it is what you're talking about, where it's a first meeting with somebody and they don't take off their sunglasses and you do quietly judge them. You're just like,
Yeah,
what's up with his dick? Like, what is he?
yeah.
Am I not important enough? Like, what's going on? Or it's like a new boyfriend of one of the sisters in the family. And
Oh
you're
man,
like, this guy is not making a first good impression. Like, this is
that
not a
that is
cool move.
that is instant right there. Yeah,
Yeah.
and young male listeners like this kind of stuff. I mean, this is all the small little nuance things that make, yeah, that make the impression.
Along with a firm handshake, certain things that regularly get taught to people, that is one of them that should be as well.
Exactly. Figured it out. So once again, first impression, take them off, unless, I mean, first meeting, take them off, and seriousness of the conversation. If somebody is dying, getting left, somebody is going to jail, somebody's business is failing, something serious, take them off.
Yeah. And we all understand if it's super duper bright outside, kind of everybody understands that's a caveat as well.
Yes.
Okay, cool. That was a little more complicated, or it was complicated, but it got easier than I thought it would be. And that was obviously Vayer. I said Vayer watches, Vayer spelled Vaer. Chaz has
Right in the
got his.
microwave.
I've got this suntan line of mine right here, even though it's not on currently.
The other day, again, I mentioned that surfing a lot, how much I'm surfing. The Vair watch is such an important part of my surf ensemble these days that I was out the door 2 days ago, car packed, we're getting ready to run down, realized, oh, don't have my Vair. Had to run up and get it.
Smart.
Yep.
VayerWatches.com/surf splendor is where you go to save 15%. They also just outfitted all the North Shore lifeguards. So you see Luke Shepardson wearing them now and everybody. So good enough for them, good enough for us.